welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Ahmad Abu Abbas, who is here on behalf of Mission Hospital. Well, Dr. Abbas, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about pancreatic cancer. And before we get into the procedures that are used for that, can you tell me what pancreatic cancer is? And one other interesting thing, just happened to watch a movie the other day that a man was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And one of his questions was, what is the pancreas for anyway? So if you could tell me about both of those, that would be great.
Of course, for sure. If you don't mind, if I show you this 3D model that I have. So basically, this is the pancreas here, this yellow organ. It looks kind of like this thing here. It's like a spongy, lobular, fatty organ that has the head. We call this the head, and this is the body and tail. And the pancreas is located in the upper abdomen, all the way in the back. The pancreas is a very important organ. It regulates our insulin levels in blood and blood sugars, and also it secretes enzymes to help digest the food. So pancreatic cancer is basically a cancer that happens anywhere in this pancreas. And unfortunately, this type of cancer is not good news. First, because the kind is very aggressive. It is resistant to treatment. And also, the problem is that we usually diagnose it too late. By the time this cancer causes symptoms, it is usually too late in the process, and the cancer has spread or grown beyond being resectable.
Wow. So is there no screening that can be done for the pancreatic cancer?
I mean, there are some screening protocols, but pancreatic cancer is considered very uncommon, actually. There's around 50,000 cases a year in the US. So it's not like common as colon cancer where there is an effective screening like colonoscopy. Okay. So actually, like screening everyone for pancreatic cancer does not make sense because you need very advanced, you need either at least an MRI of the abdomen or sometimes an invasive procedure called endoscopic ultrasound.
Right.
And those are invasive procedures. So it doesn't make sense, especially that it's not a very common cancer. So we recommend, there is some screening recommendations to people who either have someone in their family that had pancreatic cancer, or there is some genetic mutations that can make them susceptible to pancreatic cancer.
Now, given the fact that there really is no screening for it, and then of course you come upon somebody who has it, there's a procedure that you do called the Whipple procedure.
Right.
What does that actually do?
So basically, Whipple procedure. So as I said, pancreatic cancer can happen anywhere. This is called the head, and this is body tail. So most commonly, the cancer happens in this head of the pancreas. And the problem, this is a very busy area. There's a lot of organs, a lot of vital structures in the area. So for us to remove a cancer in the head of the pancreas, we have to remove the head of the pancreas and also surrounding organs like the duodenum. This is the first part of the intestine. We have to remove the gallbladder right there. We have to cut the bile duct, cut the stomach. And then we have to reconnect all those. So it's a very complicated procedure and it can be risky. It takes around at least 5 to 6 hour surgery. And it is a morbid procedure where patients are in the hospital for a while and they can have complications.
Right. Now there's ways to be able to do this where maybe it's a little bit easier recovery for them. Do you do robotic or no robotic?
The Whipple procedure, surgeons in the country do open, where we cut the patient open and we put our hands in there to do it. Nowadays, I'm doing most of those cases, I'm doing them on the robot.
Okay.
Where I use the robotic technology. The robot basically is a machine that I operate. It does not do anything by itself. But it can go through tiny holes in the body and it can do very delicate, very complicated work. So I can do the whole surgery, all those steps, I can do them with the use of the robot through tiny holes. And we've seen tremendous benefit. The robotic approach really has changed this Whipple surgery from something that's scary, that's gonna make the patient sick, they're gonna be in the hospital for a long time. It has become like a routine surgery. Actually, my last few patients stayed in the hospital for 4 days after the surgery. Usually people stay for 2 weeks sometimes.
Wow. That is encouraging to know that you can actually do more. So I mean, and help people have a better recovery.
For sure.
Just lastly, real quick. So do you have a philosophy of care with each one of your patients? I mean, you mentioned that pancreatic cancer is rare, so people must be really shocked when they have something like this.
Of course, but I mean, it is rare, but we nowadays we hear more and more, like maybe it's diagnosed more. I mean, that the population knows that it's bad news if someone has pancreatic cancer. So it's really, I'm usually the first person who sees those patients after they are diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Sometimes I'm the one who gives them that diagnosis, and it's really overwhelming for them and for their families, for their loved ones. And I really treat everyone with pancreatic cancer that comes to me as if they are one of my family.
Yeah.
I take them through the process. I make everything easier for them to understand. And of course, I do the major surgery. That's our only chance and hope of curing this, is when we catch it early and we can remove it completely before it spreads.
Right. What is the percentage of success with this Whipple procedure?
I mean, the Whipple procedure is very successful at the beginning, but unfortunately, most of those patients eventually will succumb to the disease just because of how bad the disease is, that we don't even know that it has been advanced into that level. But with this surgery, some patients get few years, where otherwise they get 3 years with their loved ones. Otherwise, they would, progress. If you don't remove the actual disease with the surgery, they would progress, and in a very short time. So, and it is our hope for cure. We really cannot tell.
Yeah, well, a cure or even a screening of some kind would be nice.
Exactly.
Especially like you said, if they have a history of it in their family or something.
For sure.
So, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing the information with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
We'll be right back after this.